And this is where it's gone too far. I'm not even going to ask a question for this video, right? I read an article on Kotaku that basically said that the studio behind the Ion Fury game is pandering to the SJWs. For real, that's essentially what it said, right? Let's get into this. This Ion Fury game sounds pretty damn awesome, no lie. No jokes about this, right? It has been made with the Duke Nukem engine. It pays homage to those games and the other games of those times. It's a shooter, which means action, which means fun. It sounds awesome, and it probably is, to be fair with you. For all intensive purposes, it's probably going to be an amazing game to play. I'm not going to hate on the game itself, right? But the studio, that's where I have issues, okay? First, we start with a developer, Terminx, and I'm not sure if I've said the name correctly, but that's the way it's spelled, so I'm saying it that way. No issue there, right? Let's read that person's comments. Comments that, mind you, were acceptable, okay? You are allowed to have opinions. You should not be judged just for having opinions, okay? That's where a bit of a problem comes with the SJW world, and we're not going to get into that, right? But to be fair with you, that's the problem that we created, and we allow the SJWs to stand by. And yes, this video is going to use that term a lot. So if you don't like the term SJWs, leave a comment down below and let me know that you don't like that term, and subscribe, and then you can see me probably use that word a lot more in future. Who knows? And yes, Terminx's comments, they were against SJWs. But so what, right? Here's what they say. Let's look at this. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you guys. Something I don't really understand about the social justice stuff is that they have stuff like the slut walk, which I thought was about the right to not be harassed for how they dress. But then if you portray women dressed the same way, you get shit for it. Terminx wrote in a discussion with other members of the Discord channel. Now, just so we're clear, okay, just so that there's no illusion as to what he said being correct or being incorrect, he's right, or she's right, whatever the person is. I don't know what gender they are, I don't care, okay? They're right. Terminx is correct, okay? And if people cannot see that, then you're a fool. Then you're stupid and you don't understand how the world works, right? Women fight for the ability to wear whatever they want and not to be viewed as sexualized beings, viewed as the things that are distracting men. But when men create those same characters that are dressed in those same ways, then the characters are being sexualized. This is the argument that we're going to go with, right? This is how it is. This is what you're telling me is you want equality, but you don't want equality because you want to be able to do something, and then when a person who has a penis does the same thing, then it's a problem, right? Please, can someone explain this to me in the comments below? I'm really keen to see what you guys have to say. You're oppressed if a man creates it, right? But free if a female creates it. That doesn't even make sense to any person if it's the same thing that's being created. But sure thing, go ahead. Then Datalon, and I don't know if I've said that name correctly, made comments regarding trans people. And to be honest with you, I'm not even going to go near that can of worms. Okay, I'm not at least not today, right? And this is where it gets interesting. The publisher 3D Realms and one of the developers named Voidpoint made statements regarding these actions. Opinions. They made statements regarding these opinions. And remember, whether you disagree or agree with Terminx and Datalon, that's your prerogative, right? In the same way that they're allowed to have their own opinions in regard to anything that goes on in the world, right? So let's begin with what Voidpoint says. This is what the article basically quotes Voidpoint as saying, and I'm just going to read through this section. Voidpoint said that members of the team made sexist and transphobic comments and included homophobic language in Ion Fury, declaring those actions insensitive, unacceptable, and counterproductive to causes of equality. The company apologized to women and members of the LGBTQ community and said it will implement a zero-tolerance policy for this type of language, which will include mandatory sensitivity training for employees. Now, look, I have a few issues with this. Now, first, let's go with the sexist viewpoint that Voidpoint has decided to bring up, right? Was it sexist to say what Terminx said? No. He's actually pointing out how it's actually unequal for men to create supposedly sexualized characters. That's not sexist. In fact, you can take umbrage with that statement, but it's not a sexist statement. What he's saying is, maybe it's sexist towards men. Maybe that's what he's trying to say to you guys. Maybe it's not sexist, but he's trying to fight for that equality that you're so happy to fight for there, Void Point. So he's essentially pointing out these issues that men do face in this department today, right? And let's be honest, I'm not trying to minimalize women's issues, by the way, so that we're all aware, but to say that women are the only people in the world that have some sort of issue or problem or grievance, that's a very big, huge problem. Next, let's look at the transphobic part of what he just said. Well, you can look at the article. You can read it. I'll leave a link down below for you guys to read that. And you guys can decide for yourself. If you think that it's transphobic, then that's fine. Cool. Let me know down below. And let me know what you think regarding this whole issue. Now, the idea that these actions were insensitive, unacceptable, and counterproductive to causes of equality? No, okay? Firstly, having an opinion that you don't like doesn't detract from equality. Pointing out an avenue of equality actually helps, right, to push the idea of equality forward. But see, this is an issue with fools and idiots. They don't see the picture from the actual side of equality. They see it from the side of idiocy. Right? And you can dislike that if you want my whole opinion on that thing. You can dislike this video. But it doesn't change the fact. If you click that dislike button because of what I just said, then you are clicking dislike on equality. Just think about that for 1 second. And then the company goes ahead and they apologize, right? Which, I get it. I understand completely. They don't want to be on the wrong end of the firing squad. I understand that completely. However, a zero tolerance policy for this type of language. So you're going to instigate a zero tolerance policy for opinions and voicing those opinions. You don't want people to think at all, right? You just want them to have your opinions, your thought processes, your way of doing things, and that's it. That is not, I don't even think that's somehow legal, but I guarantee you they'll find a loophole. They'll find one way to do this, right? Does anyone realize how unacceptable that actually is, right? If I was to tell you today that you are not allowed to have any other opinion except for the opinion that I want you to have, that's the only opinion you're allowed to have, how would you feel, right? How would you feel if I told you, if you don't share this opinion and the one that I have, then I'm going to fire you, and you may be making 50 or 60K. You could have 2 or 3 kids, but I don't give a damn because your opinion is wrong. So I have a zero tolerance policy for that. Goodbye, you're fired, right? You should not, as a company, as an entity, be about stifling the thoughts or opinions of your employees. In fact, you should encourage diversity, and having different opinions, let's be honest, that creates diversity, okay? Just so we're all aware. Now, let's move forward with the article, right? There was also the word "ogay" found in the game to mimic the shampoo Olay, right? And obviously it was tongue-in-cheek attempts at humor, and it was a hidden room, right? I'm just gonna say that again for you guys. A hidden room that had printed the word, and I'm gonna say the word, so if you don't like it, maybe block your ears for about 3 seconds. Fag bag, okay? That's the word that was found in a hidden room. So I'm gonna start here, right? The first one is Ogay shampoo. If you have a problem with Ogay shampoo, then seriously, you need to grow up, right? It's a game that is going off of the type of humor found in Duke Nukem. This was pretty typical of that era, in case you don't know, right? It's not an issue to have a shampoo that says "Ogay." Okay, it doesn't feed into anything which concerns the suicide of homosexuals, if that's the route you want to take. If you're going to say, well, they're making fun of gays and gay people will kill themselves. If you're going to kill yourself because of an "Ogay" shampoo, I'm pretty sure that there were signs a long time before that, and we actually need to help you. Okay, because Ogay shampoo found in a video game, a shampoo that is not real, is not going to make you want to kill yourself. It's the same reason that video games will not make you want to kill people. These issues were there beforehand, and honestly, you need help, so I'm really concerned about you. But the truth is, right, this doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything to hurt anybody. Honestly, and if you took offense here, then you're the one with the issues, right? Not them, not the people that say anything. You are the ones, if you have this Ogay thing and everyone's having issues. And the thing is too, right, I've got a feeling that it's not even going to be a lot of homosexuals that have an issue with this. It's the people that are afraid to hurt homosexuals or to have these issues, so they're offended on their behalf. That's a problem, because you cannot or should not be offended for someone else before they're even offended. I can't even start with that one, right? Then there's the issue of the word "fag bag." Again, sorry if you didn't like that word, maybe block your ears. But it's in the secret area. That means that you actually had to go through the game, stray away from whatever the main aspect of it is, and search for this area. That's how you find secret areas. I'm not even sure how you find the secret areas in this game, but I'll give you an example, right? In Doom, you have to flick a switch in a completely different spot, and then you still need to go to another section and actually find the hidden area. Now, I don't know if it's as much work to find that in this game, but I'm going to tell you this, right? If you're searching for secret areas and you don't like what you find, then that is your own fault. Okay, that is how this works. You looked for it, then you found it, and you were all offended because what you found is something you didn't like. Why did you not just stick to the main storyline of the game? If something that is hidden in the game is going to hurt your feelings, then just play the main story of the game. Don't go out and above and beyond to look for every little nugget that's there if you're going to be offended. Or you have another option too, by the way, just in case you're wondering. If you're feeling offended by a video game, don't play any more video games, because you're probably going to be offended by a lot more in the future, right? And while we're on that case, right, I would probably not go back and watch any movies from, let's say, the mid-noughties to any time earlier, right? Don't do any of that stuff, because you're going to be very offended, because a lot of movies in those times from, let's say, 2005 prior were very, for you guys, offensive. If you're offended at anything, at the drop of a hat, this is going to be offensive for you. And then they reveal this nugget. Let's get to the next little quote that we've got here. Moving forward, all of 3D Realms contracts will include terms which will allow us to sever relationships if a contractor does not abide by our zero tolerance policy for hate speech, it wrote. Now, normally I would have no issue with this, right? Normally I would have no issue. Except for that crap at the end, the zero tolerance policy for hate speech, considering that these devs have just voiced opinions, right? You cannot like them. I'm going to go over that multiple times and say it again. You may not like their opinions. But the truth is, you don't have to like their opinions. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. If they don't accept anything and you do, that's not hate speech. And let's just be clear, what Terming said, that is not hate speech. What Daedalon said, I told you I wasn't going to touch this with anything, but if you want to research it, what he said, go look at the article, again, link down below, see what he said, and then look at the studies that have backed up basically what he said, okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. Like, I don't want to say anything that's bad about whatever communities are out there. I'm not trying to spread hate, okay? But if you look at what he said and you look at the studies that have been provided, and there are studies out there, he's not incorrect, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not siding with Daedalon, so please don't come at me and say, oh, you're transphobic. I'm not. If you're trans and you want to be my friend, let's say hi. I have no problems with that. I'm not afraid of you for being trans. That's what transphobia... I could go into that, but I'm not going to. Anyways, so let me ask all of you SJW wannabes out there who have a problem with anything that I've said and only have the balls to click the thumbs down button, right? You probably haven't even listened all the way to the end, but let's just assume that you did, right? What is hate speech? Honestly, I want to know what you guys think, and I don't want you to think about it too hard. Just think, well, hate speech equals this, and tell me what you reckon. Give me your honest opinion down below in the comments section, and then if you want to click the thumbs down button, go ahead. But remember, hate speech does not exist. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say. And I hope that a lot of you watch this video, because you'll notice that, there is no set definition for hate speech. Just in case we're all wondering, right? And every time we get close to having some sort of a set definition for anyone who knows this, well, someone else gets offended and the goalpost moves and moves and moves again. And to be fair with you, basically, if you're offended by what I'm saying, then I'm offended that you're offended by what I'm saying. That's offensive. And if you try and hate on this video, that's hate speech, guys. Just so we're all aware, because hate speech is anything that we feel is hateful. So just remember that. Anyways, that is all from me. If you enjoyed this video, again, click that thumbs up option that you've got there. Click the subscribe button. I'm always happy to have people clicking that button there for me. Otherwise, guys, spread some peace, spread some love, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.